Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Hollyoaks' Frankie Osborne is set to reach breaking point as she slips deeper into Grace Black's dangerous operation next week. Alongside her pal Dylan Ray, Frankie is being exploited by Grace and her brother Rex Gallagher, with the pair being tempted by a lavish lifestyle and hooked on dangerous drugs. They recently discovered that clients were paying Grace and Rex for sexual encounters with them, but they were manipulated into thinking they are in safe hands. Next week, Grace throws another party, this time for her birthday, but there is drama even before the celebrations begin when the situation takes a dark turn. Best streaming services. The party is soon in full swing though, and vulnerable Frankie finds herself in danger once again. Meanwhile, Nancy Osborne is still reeling from her split with Darren Osborne, so to cheer herself up, she drags Stehey out for a few drinks. The pair get drunk and make a spontaneous decision to crash Grace's party, but Nancy is shocked to see her stepdaughter Frankie there. Since Frankie moved out of the family home to live with Dylan, it's been impossible for Nancy to keep tabs on her, our insider said. So to see her at Grace's birthday bash is confusing. Why is she there, and why has she grown so close to Grace? 10 huge Hollyoaks spoilers from the spring trailer. Later, Frankie arrives home and tells Dylan she has met a man called Ray at Grace's party who has connections to dance. Dylan doesn't want to get in the way of his friend's dreams, so when Ray comes over, he makes himself scarce and leaves the house. However, things go wrong for Frankie when Ray's friend also arrives, and the teen lashes out at him before locking herself upstairs. Hollyoaks star Jennifer Metcalf reveals why she may never get married. The Osbornes are left heartbroken as Frankie reaches breaking point. Nancy and Darren are also in a fragile state with their relationship, but it remains to be seen whether they will come together to support Frankie or if they will fall apart for good. The family hold crisis talks with Frankie, but Grace turns up and tries to manipulate the situation to keep Frankie in her clutches. Will Grace succeed, or will the Osbornes get Frankie back?
Hollyoaks, the popular British soap opera known for its gripping drama and controversial storylines, has once again stunned viewers with an intense and heart-wrenching new narrative involving one of its beloved characters, Frankie. The latest story arc, which centers on a horrifying exploitation plot, has left fans shaken as they watch Frankie spiral towards a breaking point. As the drama unfolds, it's clear that this is not just another soap opera storyline, but one that tackles sensitive and real-world issues with emotional depth, complexity, and raw intensity. Frankie, played by the talented actress, has been a central figure in Hollyoaks for several years. Her character has experienced a great deal of personal and emotional growth, moving from moments of vulnerability to strength. However, in the latest storyline, Frankie finds herself entangled in a horrific exploitation plot that will test her resolve, her mental health, and her very sense of self. As she grapples with the unfolding events, viewers will witness a gripping and devastating descent that will leave the audience on edge, eagerly awaiting the next shocking twist. In this article, we will explore the complexities of Frankie's character, the horror exploitation storyline that has captured the attention of viewers, and the broader implications of this plot for the Hollyoaks universe. We will delve into the emotional depth of the storyline, the reactions from fans, and the critical importance of addressing issues of exploitation in modern soap operas. Most importantly, we will take a close look at how this narrative is poised to affect Frankie's future, and what it means for the character and her journey moving forward. The introduction of Frankie's exploitation storyline. The horror exploitation storyline that has thrust Frankie into the spotlight begins when she becomes unknowingly involved with individuals who have ulterior motives. What initially appears to be a seemingly harmless series of events takes a dark turn as Frankie slowly realizes she's being manipulated and exploited. Her character, known for her kind-hearted nature and her strong moral compass, is confronted with a situation that forces her to question the people around her, her own instincts, and her trust in others. the exploitation aspect of the storyline is both chilling and relatable. It mirrors the real-world experiences that many people face when they fall prey to manipulators and predators. As viewers watch Frankie's world slowly unravel, they are confronted with the harsh reality of what it means to be taken advantage of, both emotionally and psychologically. What makes this story so compelling is the way it sheds light on how easy it can be for a person, even one as strong as Frankie, to find themselves trapped in an exploitative situation. Throughout the story, Frankie is forced to confront her past choices, her current relationships, and her own vulnerabilities. The emotional strain of the exploitation begins to take its toll on her, and she begins to doubt her own worth and sense of self. This narrative is a stark reminder of how exploitation doesn't just damage the body, it can also destroy a person's sense of identity and their ability to trust. The depth of Frankie's character. Frankie's journey through this storyline is one of the most emotionally complex arcs seen on Hollyoaks in recent memory. Known for her resilience and her ability to stand up for what's right, Frankie has always been a character that viewers could root for. Her relationships with other characters, especially her family and friends, have been central to her development over the years. However, this new storyline explores a side of Frankie that many viewers may not have seen before: her vulnerability and her ability to be deceived. At the heart of this arc is Frankie's internal struggle. As she finds herself caught in the web of exploitation, she is forced to confront the darkest parts of her psyche. The exploitation does not just affect her physically or emotionally, it shakes her sense of self-worth and challenges everything she has believed about the world and the people she trusts. The journey is an uphill battle, and viewers are taken on a ride through Frankie's vulnerability, confusion, and pain. Each scene with Frankie is fraught with tension, as she fights against the forces that seek to control her, while also grappling with the trauma of what has already occurred. Her character is far from perfect, but this only makes her journey even more powerful. Fans of Hollyoaks have watched Frankie grow from a young woman with uncertain ambitions to a determined and strong-willed individual who has often risen above her circumstances. To see her brought to her knees by exploitation is heartbreaking, but it also adds layers to her character, making her journey one of both despair and, eventually, hope. The psychological and emotional toll of exploitation. The psychological effects of exploitation are often invisible to the outside world, and Hollyoaks does an excellent job of portraying how this type of abuse impacts someone over time. As the storyline progresses, viewers are able to witness firsthand the mental and emotional toll it takes on Frankie. The manipulation and deceit weigh heavily on her, and her sense of safety and security begins to crumble. She starts to doubt the people she once trusted and becomes more isolated in her struggle to cope with the situation. The exploitation theme brings attention to issues that many people, particularly women, face in real life. The way the story is crafted highlights how exploitation doesn't always present itself in obvious ways. The manipulative individuals around Frankie are not immediately recognizable as abusers, making it all the more difficult for her to understand the gravity of her situation. This element of the storyline sheds light on the covert nature of manipulation and exploitation, and how the victims of such abuse are often left feeling powerless and unsure of how to escape their circumstances. For Frankie, the emotional toll is compounded by the guilt and shame she feels. As the exploitation continues, she internalizes the belief that she somehow deserves what's happening to her. This is a common emotional response for victims of exploitation, who often feel as though they are to blame for their abuse. Hollyoaks captures this psychological aspect of the story with empathy and realism, allowing viewers to see the deep inner conflict Frankie faces as she tries to make sense of her suffering. The impact on Frankie's relationships. As the horror exploitation plot unfolds, the effects on Frankie's relationships with other characters are profound. Her friends and family are left in the dark about what she is going through, and as a result, they are unable to offer the support she desperately needs. This sense of isolation only deepens Frankie's pain, as she struggles to navigate the complexities of the exploitation while also hiding her suffering from those closest to her. Her relationship with her family, in particular, is tested to its breaking point. Frankie's loved ones are left unaware of the depths of her emotional turmoil, and this distance only exacerbates her feelings of being alone in her fight. As the story continues, it's unclear whether Frankie will be able to open up and ask for help, or if she will continue to bear the weight of the exploitation on her own. This isolation is a central theme in the storyline, as it highlights the often hidden nature of exploitation. It's a reminder of how difficult it can be for victims to speak out and seek help, even when they are surrounded by people who care about them. The emotional distance between Frankie and those around her underscores the quiet despair that many victims of exploitation experience as they suffer in silence. Fans' reactions and critical response. The storyline has already sparked an outpouring of support from Hollyoaks fans, many of whom have expressed their sympathy for Frankie's character. Viewers have been vocal about how powerful and heartbreaking the arc is, with many praising the show's handling of such a sensitive issue. On social media, fans have rallied behind Frankie, offering messages of support and sharing their own experiences with exploitation and manipulation. Critics have also responded positively to the storyline, noting that Hollyoaks has tackled the issue of exploitation in a mature and responsible manner. By shining a light on the emotional and psychological toll of abuse, the show has sparked important conversations about consent, manipulation, and the hidden nature of exploitation. The show's ability to take on such a challenging and timely topic has been applauded, and many believe it will resonate with a wide audience. What's next for Frankie? As Frankie reaches her breaking point, the future of her character remains uncertain. Will she be able to break free from the grip of exploitation, or will the trauma prove too much for her to handle? The story is poised to take even darker and more intense turns in the coming weeks, with new revelations and twists that will continue to keep fans on the edge of their seats. Frankie's emotional journey is far from over, and the ultimate question remains: can she regain control of her life, or will the exploitation push her beyond the point of no return? In the end, Hollyoaks' horror exploitation story is more than just a plot twist. It's a reflection of the challenges many people face in the real world. The narrative promises to be both heartbreaking and ultimately empowering as Frankie's struggle unfolds. Whether she can find the strength to overcome her circumstances or not, one thing is certain: her story will continue to captivate viewers and spark important conversations about exploitation, trauma, and recovery.